Hello Reds fan, in this video you'll stay informed about the latest Liverpool news. But first, leave your like and subscribe to our channel right now, so you don't miss any updates about Liverpool FC. Alright Liverpool fan, Liverpool are heading into the January transfer window knowing full well that reinforcements are needed all over the pitch. Things have picked up slightly in recent weeks. But let's be honest, the Reds are still crying out for a proper boost going into the second half of the season. One of the quickest ways to do that is by getting active in the transfer market. And Liverpool have already been heavily linked with a few potential signings. The name that keeps popping up more than any other is Antoine Semenyo, and it's starting to feel like his time at Bournemouth is coming to an end. Earlier in the week, it looked like Semenyo was heading straight to Manchester City, with reports suggesting he'd made Pep Guardiola's side his preferred option at that point. It felt like Liverpool's chances were fading fast. But just when it seemed done and dusted, the Reds have suddenly jumped back into the race. According to fresh reports, Bournemouth are now fully expecting Liverpool to come in with a serious bid and try to change Semenyo's mind. There's talk of a late twist, with Liverpool ready to go head-to-head with City, who are pushing to get the deal wrapped up as soon as the window opens. Manchester United and Tottenham are also said to be keeping tabs, while Chelsea appear to have dropped out right now. Though, it looks like a straight shootout between Liverpool and City. If Liverpool really do move before the Leeds game on New Year's Day, it'll be because they genuinely believe they can land him. Semenyo himself reportedly wants his future sorted quickly, ideally by January 1st, which adds even more urgency to the situation. From a Liverpool point of view, Semenyo actually feels like a better fit at Anfield than at the Etihad. There's a real argument that he could walk straight into the starting sheet, which is something City can't promise. That alone could make him think twice about his original choice. Of course, the pull of Guardiola is massive for any player, and the release clause means this deal could move very fast. Bournemouth would ideally like to keep him for 1 or 2 more games, but once that clause is active, it's out of their hands. Either way, Liverpool fans won't be left waiting long. This saga is about to reach its conclusion very soon. So Reds, now that Liverpool have wrapped up their on-pitch business for 2025, attention is already starting to shift toward what could be a massive January transfer window. The Reds don't always like doing business halfway through the season, but this time it really feels like they might have no choice heading into 2026. The biggest priority is pretty clear to everyone watching: centre back. Liverpool desperately need reinforcements there. And once again Marc Guéhi's name is right at the top of the list. The Palace skipper has been on the Reds' radar for a while now, and there's a strong feeling that he'll finally be on the move in 2026. Guéhi is expected to leave Crystal Palace when his contract winds down, although Palace boss Oliver Glasner has recently said he expects the defender to stay put until the end of the season. With the January window just around the corner, a couple of reliable journalists have given updates on whether that's likely to happen, given his contract situation and how well he's been playing. Guéhi is basically on the shortlist of every big club in Europe right now, but according to Belgian reporter Sacha Tavolieri, one of those clubs won't be Barcelona. He suggested that Barca simply can't compete financially with Premier League sides when it comes to wages, and Liverpool are currently leading the race. Tavolieri says that Guéhi wants his future sorted sooner rather than later, and with English clubs able to offer more attractive deals, Liverpool are seen as frontrunners at this stage. From a Reds fan point of view, that's obviously encouraging news. However, BBC journalist Sami Maqbul has poured a bit of cold water on the idea of a January move. Speaking recently, he suggested that Guéhi is still expected to see out the season at Palace before weighing up his options in the summer. And those options are massive. According to Maqbul, clubs like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Manchester City, and Liverpool are all keeping tabs. Basically, Guéhi will have his pick of the bunch once the season ends. Interestingly, it's also been suggested that Guéhi was keen on joining Liverpool last summer, and the way he handled that collapsed move has only boosted his reputation. More clubs have taken notice since, which just makes this race even more intense. For now, it looks like patience might be required, but don't be surprised if Liverpool are right back at the table when the time comes. Listen up Liverpool fan, Liverpool made it 3 Premier League wins on the bounce with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Wolves at Anfield on Saturday. It wasn't pretty at times, but 3 points is 3 points. And that's all that matters right now. Still, let's not kid ourselves. The Reds are sitting 10 points behind Arsenal, so if we're serious about defending the title, there's a mountain of work still to climb. A big reason Arsenal are where they are is Declan Rice. He's been immense this season, chipping in with goals, assists, and just dominating midfield battles week after week. He sets the standard for what an elite, all-round midfielder looks like in this league. And Liverpool are clearly looking at ways to close that gap. That's where a very interesting name comes into the conversation. Reports coming out of Spain suggest Liverpool are trying their luck with a move for Eduardo Kamavinga ahead of January. Apparently, the club have already put an offer on the table worth around £61 million, hoping to bring the Real Madrid midfielder to Anfield. Now, this one won't be easy. Real Madrid don't want to sell, especially halfway through the season. Kamavinga is seen as a key player for them, and they're in no rush to cash in. If Liverpool are serious, they'll likely need to push that offer up significantly to even get Madrid talking. From a fan's point of view though, this is exactly the type of signing we should be chasing. Kamavinga feels like the closest thing to Liverpool's own version of Declan Rice. He's strong, aggressive, technically gifted, and just as effective without the ball as he is with it. He wins a huge percentage of his duels, both on the ground and in the air, and he's not just a destroyer either. He carries the ball well, beats players, and plays progressive passes that move his team up the pitch. That mix of bite and quality is something Liverpool have been missing at times this season. When you compare that to Alexis Mac Allister, the difference is pretty clear. Macca has struggled physically in midfield, losing to many duels, and he hasn't really made up for it with goals or assists. Kamavinga would offer more balance, more power, and more influence in a box-to-box role. If Liverpool want to bridge the gap to Arsenal, signing a midfielder like Kamavinga could be massive. Now it's over to the club to dig deep, up the bid, and see if they can tempt Real Madrid into doing business this January. Hey Reds! Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't exactly leave Anfield on the best terms. Running his contract down and heading off to Real Madrid last summer rubbed a lot of Liverpool fans the wrong way. His mind was clearly made up on Spain, and while the club did manage to scrape about £10 million from the deal, it was miles below what a player of his quality was actually worth. Fast forward to life in Madrid, and it hasn't exactly gone to plan for Trent either. Injuries have played a big part, limiting him to just 11 appearances so far this season, and to make things worse, his return to Anfield with Madrid was one to forget. No impact, no magic, and a very frosty reception from the home crowd. Despite all that, it's pretty obvious that Liverpool still feel his absence. Arne Slot hasn't been able to rely consistently on either Conor Bradley or Jeremy Frimpong, and that lack of a nailed-on right back has hurt us. But according to Steven Gerrard, it's not just Trent's availability we miss, it's what he brings creatively. 6 months into this move, and honestly, it feels like nobody's really won. Trent's barely been on the pitch, which won't have gone down well in Madrid. And Liverpool have lost that spark down the right side that made teams panic. We've become more predictable, passing side to side without that one killer ball or moment of brilliance. Gerrard himself weighed in and didn't hold back. He admitted he was gutted to see Trent leave and feels Liverpool missed the fear factor he gave us. From a supporter's perspective, it only took a single pass, one cross, or a moment of brilliance to unsettle defenses. And Gerrard even cast doubt on whether the switch was the right move for Trent in the first place. That said, it's hard to imagine Trent already regretting his choice. He's signed a long-term deal and still has time to turn things around in Spain. Real Madrid won't give up on him after half a season, and neither will he. As for a return to Anfield, that door feels firmly shut. Even if things don't work out in Madrid, it's difficult to see that relationship ever being repaired. Liverpool fans might quietly hope the dream move doesn't quite live up to expectations. But one thing feels clear. Trent's chapter at Liverpool is probably closed for good. This is the Liverpool FC News Fan channel and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A big hug and see you in the next video.